that you've always loved. So get ready for the best Redmi Note yet with the all-new Aura design. Xiaomi.
So with the Redmi Note 7 Pro, we are bringing in an all-new Aura design. As you saw, the Aura design philosophy is a factor of three things. We are giving an incredibly immersive experience. There's a lot of attention to detail, and we are doing all of this, making a beautiful device without compromising on the functionality. Something that our Mi fans have always loved. Moving into the immersive experience. For the first time ever on a Redmi Note, we are using a 19.5:9 dot notch display. Now this is a full HD display that takes brightness and contrast levels to a whole new level. But what I want you to look at is that we also have used the most expensive LCD technology available to in-cell screen. Now this is incredibly important because the LTPS in-cell screen uses less power and also generates less heat. And with that, we are able to push this all the way to the edges to give you a bezel that's narrower than ever before at just 1.95 mm. It's a true engineering marvel. And with this new aspect ratio and smaller bezels, what we've been able to do is with the Redmi Note 7 Pro in almost the same footprint as the Redmi Note 5 Pro and the Note 6 Pro, we're giving a larger display. Now it's a 6.3-inch display. Not just that, with the Note 7 Pro, we have retained and in some cases reintroduced some of our fan favorites. We have the sunlight display. When you go out, the Redmi Note 7 Pro screen enhances brightness, improves the overall contrast, and even to give you a more natural image, adjusts the color saturation. So when you are outside in bright sunlight, it's still a comfortable viewing experience. And talking about a comfortable viewing experience, if it's low light, we also have a reading mode. And this has been certified by TUV, where it cuts off the blue light, improves the overall readability, reduces eye strain, so that when you get that last game or the last kill before that night, you still aren't really stressing your eyes. And along with the display, along with the entire immersive nature, is the craftsmanship. On the Redmi Note 7 Pro, for the first time, we have a 2.5D curved glass. And not just in the front, but the back as well. And this is incredibly important because this curvature that you get both in the front and the back seamlessly blends in with the frame, giving you this perfect unibody experience. The hand feel on the Note 7 Pro is absolutely amazing. It's something that you do not expect from a device like this. What's also interesting is, and some of the Mi fans I'm sure will notice this later, is the flash actually is underneath the glass. It's that seamless overall design. Amazing attention to detail. And talking about more attention to detail, we also are introducing for the first time a gradient finish. Now this is 6 layers coming together to give you this incredible finish. It's absolutely gorgeous and it comes in multiple colors. Let's take a look at the first one. Now that's the Neptune blue. Now it looks absolutely amazing with the entire gradient finish coming in. Another angle for the Neptune blue, and you can absorb this more. It is a really good device. One more angle for Note 7 Pro's Neptune blue color. Now not just that, we've taken the gradient finish to another level, and we also have the nebula red. Looks absolutely stunning, almost from all angles that you look at it. And again, you can see the frame is matching with the entire gradient finish. It is an outstanding looking device. Another angle. Now these are the 2 gradient finishes that we've got. What happens if you have someone in your team, someone who's a little more conservative, Someone like probably Manu. Yeah, for him, these colors are a bit too much. He said it's for the younger people. I do like the blue. For those people, actually not, it's actually a really good color. We are also getting the classic space black. And this is a black that you've never seen before. It's absolutely stunning. It looks classy as well as it gives you this entire vibrance that you expect from the Note 7 Pro. Another angle for the space black, and here are all three colors in the same frame. Absolutely stunning, and I must commend our engineering team for doing an excellent job. Now, these are renders, but what happens is, when you see this device in person, when you hold it, how does that look? So we've taken a couple of shots of the phone. Now, the next few images are not renders, these are actually photographs of the real device, just to show you how good this actually looks. The Neptune Blue, by the way, the color name is also really awesome, as good as the Note 7 Pro. The Nebula Red. Now, these devices look absolutely stunning in real life. And of course, after this, we should get an idea and we should get a chance to feel these. And of course, the classic black. Now, not just a good-looking device, the Note 7 Pro also takes this entire build to the very next level. Both at the front and the back, we are introducing Corning's Gorilla Glass 5. And talking about being a very practical device, we are also introducing a Type-C port for the first time on the Note series. And of course, jack is back. We never got rid of it. Now there's one more feature which the Mi fans love and none of the other brands have ever provided. Absolutely, only the Mi fans know this. So with the IR blaster, and almost all our Redmi Note devices have had this, you can turn your Redmi Note 7 Pro into a universal remote. You can control thousands of devices, TVs, set-top boxes, game consoles, fans, pretty much everything that uses IR technology. It's something that our fans have absolutely loved, and we are not giving up on that. So, to sum it up, from a design perspective, I'm sure you guys are loving what you saw. The Aura design, an all-new philosophy. You've got an immersive 6.3-inch dot-notch display with an all-new aspect ratio of 19.5:9. You have a LTPS in-cell screen. Again, improved thermals, improved battery efficiency. You're pushing it all the way to the edges, smaller bezels. You've got a Corning Gorilla Glass 5, both at the front and the back. It's a 2.5D glass that merges in with the frame. And of course, that beautiful 6-layer gradient finish. And it's still a Redmi Note. It is as practical as ever before. It's got the headphone jack, it's still got the IR remote control, and the all-new Type-C. Now moving to the next section, and this is something that the Redmi Note series has always been known for. We've broken that entire segment time and again in terms of how the Redmi Note has performed. And of course, talking about that, let's get into the performance part. And this, of course, is, we know, incredibly important to all our Mi fans, right? No? Okay, so before I get into the performance part of it, I'll recap. So we talked about this last time as well. When we are selecting a processor, we look at three key things. Can it run all the apps and games smoothly? Does it have great thermals? And of course, it's a Note, it has to give great battery life. So for kind of ticking all these boxes, I would like to introduce to you on the Redmi Note 7 Pro, we are going to use the Qualcomm Snapdragon 625. Okay. So we really wanted to. Obviously, 625 has been Manu's favorite processor for 2 years. Unfortunately, a couple of weeks back, we had a little incident. In Andhra Pradesh, one truck, which was surprisingly carrying all our 625 chips, got stolen. So because we lost all our 625s, with the Redmi Note 7, we are bringing in an all-new processor. This processor is absolutely amazing. On Antutu, this clocks in at a whopping 1.8 lakhs. Trust me, nobody has seen a performance like this in this segment before. In fact, when we compared the Redmi Note 7 Pro with the previous generation Redmi Note 6 Pro, we have 155% the performance of the predecessor. It's a massive jump. Not just from a benchmark score perspective. We tested it time and again internally. Almost everything that you run runs a lot faster. You see faster web browsing, game launches, social media launches, almost everything is much, much faster on the Note 7 Pro. So these were benchmarks and these were comparisons. So we decided to go a step further. And we said, let's compare it with some really powerful devices out there. And where does it stand? So we decided to compare it with the Qualcomm 710. And versus the 710, the Redmi Note 7 Pro is almost 17% faster. There's another 710, which is not actually the real one. That obviously is much slower, but we'll get to that a little later. So, what we did was, this was Antutu. How about some other tests, like single core tests and multi-core tests? So we also went to Geekbench and looked at that. So both single core, multi-core, of course you've seen Antutu, it turned out to be the fastest device that was there. And of course we've seen the Oppo R17 Pro that does run Snapdragon 710 retails for about 46,000 rupees. And the Note 7 Pro beats it by a healthy margin. Why is that? Because the Redmi Note 7 Pro's processor uses the latest Cryo 460 architecture. Now this uses the same ARM A76 cores as the Qualcomm Snapdragon 855. It is a truly powerful chip. And this chip that we're using on the Redmi Note 7 Pro is none other than an absolute phenomenal chip running on the Cryo 460 architecture. It's an 11 nanometer FinFET process. So it's not just more powerful, but it's also a lot more efficient. And yes, it is an octa-core chip. We got to dive a little deeper. Okay. Now, as you saw, the Qualcomm Snapdragon 675 is an 11 nanometer, based on the 11 nanometer FinFET technology. It uses the latest Cryo 460 architecture, and it is an 8-core processor. With the 11 nanometer chipset, or the process technology, you get better thermal, you get better power consumption, and because of all of this, you're able to push the entire performance to a whole new level on the 675. Not just that, when we dive a little deeper to find out why it's so powerful, let's look at how the CPU works. And in the Cryo 460 CPU, you've got 2 gold cores running ARM's A76. Now these are super performance cores. And then along with that, you've got 6 silver cores which are run on ARM's A55 architecture. Now both of these are powerful, but the gold cores do the major heavy lifting. So all your games, your heavy 3D applications are in the gold cores, while the silver ones are for your day-to-day performance. So whether it's social media apps, whether you're listening to music, whether you're browsing, these silver cores step in there. But not just that. Obviously, we are also interested in gaming. And there we've got an all-new Adreno 612 GPU. And this GPU, when combined with the gold cores of the Cryo 460 CPU, take gaming all the way to the next level. Lesser frame drops, but also an overall smoother gameplay. It's absolutely amazing, and we've tested this amongst all the latest games. A few of us got chicken dinners as well. The next part of this amazing chip is the Spectra ISP. Now this obviously is incredibly important because this has been engineered to support a 48 megapixel camera, right? And of course, you remember our tagline. Not just the 48MP camera, but it also has better depth sensing, and a hint for a later slide, it also supports 4K video capture. And the last part that I want to talk about here is it comes with an all-new DSP, the Hexagon 685, which has much better AI processing, and hence that also adds further to your camera experience. Overall, this makes the Snapdragon 675 SoC, which is, as you saw, really powerful. And I'll just move to the next one. And we've combined this with up to 6 GB of LPDDR4X. Now we know LPDDR4X is the fastest RAM available for mobile phones right now, and you get that on the Note 7 Pro. Not just that, but for the first time ever on a Redmi Note series, we are also introducing a 128 GB storage variant. Now, you combine this, you've got a super powerful Cryo 460 CPU, an all-new Adreno 612 GPU, and up to 6 GB of DDR4X RAM. You've got an amazing gaming machine right in your hands. But that's the hardware part. We've also made optimizations when it comes to software. In fact, we are running MIUI 10 based on Android Pie, and from a performance point alone, there are more than 20 different optimizations that have been done. But just to highlight a few, from a lock-free critical path and code-dependent prioritization, it's able to run everything a lot more smoothly and push this entire system to a whole new level. Now, it is a Note, and you've got so much power, so it has to have a noteworthy battery. And the Note 7 Pro comes with a 4000 mAh battery that easily lasts you 2 days on a single charge. And when you deep dive, it's almost 45 hours of 4G calling time if you were to call someone that long. Or what's really important, and what I really care about as well, about 8.5 hours of gaming. Now this is absolutely incredible. Now this is a big battery and it's a powerful phone, and we are saying that it's great for gaming. What you do need is when the battery goes down, you need to charge it up quickly, right? For that, again, a first for the Redmi Note series, you got Quick Charge 4. So, to sum it up, you've got the incredibly powerful Snapdragon 675 built on the Cryo 460 CPU. It has an Adreno 612 GPU, perfect for those heavy games. You've got MIUI 10 with Android Pie and bringing you all those optimizations and overall a smoother experience. Up to 6 GB of DDR4X RAM, and 128 GB of storage. And of course, the Spectra 250L ISP. It's an all-new ISP required.
4GB, 64GB variant is going to be 13,999. And the price for 6GB, 128GB is going to be 16,999.